Hey, what's up everybody, this is Tattoo Bard. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I really found a hidden gem on a Chinese website from Dragonhawk, and I want to talk to you about this machine. So let's dive down and have a look at it. So right here we have the machine. As you can see, it's a direct drive rotary machine, and if you look at the cam here, you can see all these numbers. Let me bring it up a little bit closer, maybe you can see it. So you can basically adjust the stroke anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 to 5 millimeters, which is actually really nice for a tattoo machine. I don't think you will use the 1.5 a lot, and actually in the box it comes with a little tool so you can adjust it. Now on the side here, let me bring it up a little bit, there's two screws. One of them here you can take off the whole cam, and then the one on the top, if you loosen it, you can adjust the stroke here. And as you can see, it's right now on 5.0, and by turning this you can adjust the stroke length on this machine, which is really nice. I'm gonna leave it at 5 for now. Make sure you tighten that. Now this machine is made to use with a clip cord. If this machine was made to use with a RCA cable, it would have been even better, because then you can use the battery grip, so you could use it wireless. At the moment it's I'm just gonna use it wired for this video, and I just want to test and see how this machine is actually doing. I bought it on AliExpress for I think 30 euros, so about $30 as well. I think that's fairly the same, with the shipping and everything, and I got it within 10 days, which is really quick for a machine coming from China. Now I think it has been made by Dragonhawk. I have used many machines from Dragonhawk before. I think I did a review on the EX2, which is kind of like a sidewinder from Dragonhawk, one of the earlier ones. And yeah, now I have this one. I bought it actually just for fun and to show you guys what you can actually do with a cheaper tattoo machine, because sometimes you don't really need to break the bank in order to get a good machine. So I'm just gonna show you how this one is working. What we're gonna do today is I'm gonna use it with a cartridge grip. You could use this one with conventional needles, but for me personally, because it's a direct drive, if you use regular needles, you do get a little bit of side-to-side motion on your needle if you're using a regular needle, which would probably not be ideal. Maybe I'm wrong, because I know there's a lot of people that use direct drives only and with regular needles. I'm just going for the cartridges this time. Let's actually hook it up and see how she's running. Alright, so I got her hooked up to my clip cord. I currently have my power supply on 5 volts, and let's see how she's doing. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really quiet, it sounds really smooth. It's nice. If you hold it sideways, you can kind of see the length of the stroke. It's currently at 5.0 millimeters on 5 volts. Let's increase the voltage just a little bit. It does sound pretty fast. This is 5.5. Let's go up a little bit more. This is 6. And it's hitting super hard. But what to expect, it's a direct drive machine, it's a 5 millimeter stroke at the moment. Okay, let's actually change the stroke length, see if it changes anything in the sound, see if it changes anything. Let's go to 3.5, which is a very common stroke length for tattoo machines. and let's see if we can actually see a difference from the side when I'm running it. So right now it's at 6. I think you can definitely tell the stroke is a lot shorter, so it is actually working, but I'm really gonna test it once I have the needle in. It also feels a little bit softer, which is nice. Alright, let's increase the voltage a little bit. It's now at 6.0. This is 6.5 voltage. Still sounds really nice. Let's actually hook up the cartridge grip and put in some cartridges, get some fake skin, and let's see what she performs like. See how she puts in ink. So give me just a minute and I'll get everything ready. Okay, so right now I have my stroke set at 5 millimeters. I got my cartridge in. My cartridge grip might be a little bit too short or my plunger bar might be too long because I have to put it really far out, but that's okay. We're just gonna see how she does. I have a 5-round liner in here, like a tight 5-round liner, which is probably not ideal if you use a 5 millimeter stroke, but it can definitely work. We're just gonna test it. I'm also gonna test it with a 7-round shader and see how she does with bolt lining. I'm gonna do it with the Magnum as well, just to see how she's shading. So I'm now at 5.0 volts, which might be a little bit slow. That's okay. This is just a test. So just so we don't forget, this is 5 millimeters. I'll write it down. I need to turn it up just a little bit. 5.5. Seems to do the job. This is really nice. Let's quickly go over this one a little bit. Alright, cool. That definitely works. Now let's see with a little bit of a bigger liner. Okay, so right now I have a 7-round shader in. Actually it's a 7-round liner, but I burned her open. If you want to know how to do that, make sure you let me know in the comments and I'll make a video and show you how to do that. So I'm just going to create a box where we're going to do some shading in later. So let's see, this is still 5 millimeter stroke, 5.5 volts. Let's make a small box. That looks good. She might need a little bit more voltage for this. 6.2. Here we go. Oh yeah. It seems to work really, really, really nice. Now, just so you know, I'm not using, for the practice skin, I'm not using an official ink, so it might not be as bright as some of the other ones. I'm just using a cheap ink that I got in a kit one time, which I obviously don't use on skin, but just for practice purposes. Let's get a Magnum in here. I've got a 9 Magnum here. Let's put her in. Now I want to turn down my voltage a little bit more because I'm a really slow shader. So I'm actually going to start at 4 and see how that works. Now you see I still need to adjust my needle, which I barely have room for it in my grip, but it works. There we go. Alright, this is at 4-fold still, 5.0 millimeter stroke. Alright, here we go. I think we can increase the fold just a little bit. Go to 4.5. A little bit more ink. And what I really like is really creating nice dots. That's what I always like with the longer strokes. You gotta, it's not as soft, but especially if you want to do whip shading, this works, to me, at least to me, it works the best. Or if you want to do dot work, because it keeps that nice punch and you just create dots which are very visible. You know, it's not too soft where your dots will turn into a soft shading. If you're looking for a soft shading, then 5.0 is probably not what you want. I mean, it can be done, but I've discussed this a lot in a video about the Ambition Thorpe. It's definitely possible to do soft shading with a 5mm stroke, but it's gonna take you way longer than if you're using a different stroke length. And you will probably overwork the skin. Alright, perfect. So that was 5.0. Now, what shall we do? I think we're gonna go, I'm gonna skip the 4.5 because it's very similar to 5.0. It's just a little bit different. So I think I'm just gonna go for the 3.5, which is probably, if you're a beginning artist, that's probably the stroke length you want to use, because it's good for anything. You can do fine lines. You could do some bolder lines, but I think for bolder lines you might want to use a bigger stroke. And you can shade a lot softer with this. So we're actually gonna go back to the 5-round liner, and let's increase the voltage just a little bit. 5.5 sounds about right. Okay, so this is 3.5mm stroke. Now let's write it down so we don't forget. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of lining with a short stroke, but you know, for you guys, I'll do it. We're gonna change to the 7-round shader. Now I'm expecting that this is gonna be a little bit harder. Now on practice skin this doesn't show very often, because I mean you can push pretty hard on the practice skin without damaging it, or sometimes you have to push harder than on normal skin. But definitely with a shorter stroke on regular skin, I feel that this is not having enough power. But we're gonna do it anyways. So here we go. I can definitely feel that this machine wants to bounce all over the place. But it still works. Even at 5.5 volts, which is pretty good. I might want to increase it a little bit, go to 6.0. Get a little bit more ink. Here we go. Alright, it looks pretty good. Now let's quickly put in a magnum and do a bit of the shading. Alright, so we're back with the 9 Magnum. 3.5mm stroke. I'm going to turn down the voltage just a little bit. I'm going to go to 5.0. Here we go. And you can see right away that this is shading a lot softer than the 5.0mm stroke. And it's nice because it's nice and soft and you really get to build your shade rather than going too dark right away. So make sure you take your time whenever you do shading. Nice. Alright, looking good. Looking good for sure. Alright, now for the last one, I don't want to use the 1.5 because I think that really is not going to do anything. So we're going to go to the 2.5, which I think is probably more ideal for shading, not really for the lining, even though on practice skin it's probably not really going to show. But with my Ambition Mars, I figured out that the 2mm, yeah, the 2mm stroke, or the 2.5 that's on there, is also really nice for smooth shading, color blending and things like that. So actually I think the 2.5 is going to shade really nice on this machine, but let's see how she does lining. I'm back with the 5-round liner. I think we need to increase the voltage a lot more. So this is 6 volts, 2.5 millimeter stroke. Here we go. Alright, not too bad. But then again, this is practice skin. It's always different than real skin. Now let's see what's gonna happen with the 7-round shader. Here we go. I have to push super hard. The machine is starting to bounce. Let's see how this line looks like. Yeah, you can tell it's not really saturated. We can try to increase the volts. Maybe that helps. I don't think so. This is 7. Yeah, no. 2.5 is really not for bigger lining. But you know, that's what practice skin is for. We can test weird stuff like this. Yeah, no. The lining, not good at all. But now I'm expecting this to shade super smooth. And let's see if she does. Of course I need to turn my voltage down a little bit. 5.5. Let's go. This is a little bit fast because I see I'm creating lines instead of dots. So I turn down my voltage a little bit. I'm at 5.0 right now. Oh yeah, it's a lot better. And you see how much faster this thing shades? If you compare it to the 5.0, I had to keep going over and over. Now this with the 2.5, and it's a really smooth transition right away. It also comes out a lot darker, it seems like, because it just saturates the ink a lot better. You also see a bit of color difference here. It turns a little bit bluish. Here is just black throughout the whole thing. Oh, right. Now here you can see a little bit of the differences. The ones on top are actually done with the Ambition Mars, and I don't know if it's something that I did, but it actually seems like this one is performing a little bit better Now this is not something I want to say judged on how it does on practice skin, but definitely on practice skin it seems to perform better. So I'm looking forward to see how this actually works on regular skin. If I get the chance, because I know you guys always want to see it, if I get the chance I will see if I can do a tattoo with this machine. Preferably I like to do it on myself, but since summer is coming up, I am not really looking forward to have a tattoo during the summer. But you know, maybe I will, or maybe I will find someone that's willing to lend me a piece of skin to test out this machine for your guys' purpose. Other than that, let's go back up top and talk about this machine a little bit more. So be back in a minute. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Really, this machine has really surprised me. I think this is a hidden gem. So if you are a starting tattoo artist and you're looking to get your first machine but you don't want to break the bank just yet, I think this is the machine that you probably want to get. So I'm gonna link in the description down below where you can purchase this machine and yeah, how you can get it. Now if you have any questions about this machine, make sure you write them in the comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm planning to do a lot more videos like this, because I just think it's a lot of fun to do. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can help this channel out, like this video, and see you the next time.